and let's get into the match review. Big game at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Preview. I was still in the match review. I thought we had already won this game. But no, it's a big game, man. Really big. On the back of two really good wins for Spurs, 5-0 against Southampton and 4-3 to put us in the semis. It just had to be the team that we got drawn against in the semi-finals. Bit of a dress rehearsal for that game in a couple of weeks' time. But Liverpool obviously going really well at the top of the league. Mm-hmm. But they have started to stutter a little bit of recent weeks. You know, is it 2 draws in the last 2 Premier League games?
In the last 2 Premier League games, 2 draws,
So
Newcastle and Fulham.
Do you think that we are like playing a bit of a wounded animal at the moment, or you can't really say that if they haven't lost?
I wouldn't say wounded animal. I still think they're playing quite well. And against Newcastle, they came back really impressively after being behind and looked like they were going to win that game. And Kelleher
chucked it away.
It away. I thought they were brilliant though in that second half. Then Fulham, the way they played with 10 men, I think they'll be really proud of that performance. And I think they could have easily won that game, even with 10 men. The chances they created, I thought they were super impressive. So obviously we know what it's like to play a Liverpool side with not their full count of players like it was last year. And we just about go over the line very luckily in that one. I don't think it's a wounded animal, but I don't think it's it's going to be a very difficult game. They're on the midst of they're leading the title race at the moment. They're 2 points clear against Chelsea at the top. They need to keep winning and keep that consistency. They've just got a plethora of attacking options and players to choose from. Midfield as well. Harvey Elliott coming in midweek and scoring. You know, he's a forgotten man. He's a brilliant player as well. They've got these kind of players who can contribute for them. And at the moment, we're obviously running on empty. We're had a massive game and a massive effort on Thursday to get through that cup tie against Man United. We saw it against even Chelsea when we can take the lead against these good teams, but you know, do we have the energy to sustain our level of performance? That's a big question mark. And Liverpool asked so many questions of you with all their forward players. Salah's in the form of his life. You know, Trent is just a phenomenon. They've got Gakpo in great form. Diaz is starting to score goals again. Jota's back as well from his injury.
Great goal, wasn't it, when he
brilliant
came back?
Goal, and he's a great player, a great goal scorer. The only weakness I'm seeing at the moment is definitely Robertson. He's definitely one who's getting caught out a lot. I think Trent defensively at the moment, down that side, he's one you can get at. And obviously Konate's out, so Joe Gomez is in. I don't think he's bad, but he's not as good as Konate. So I think Alisson as well, he's back as well in the fold. So I don't see many advantages when it comes to team selection or anything like that. But as you say, as much as they've done well in the last 3 games against Newcastle and Fulham, they've also have conceded chances and goals. And they have looked like conceding other chances as well. The goals they conceded aren't the only chance. It's not like they're conceding by the only chances they concede. They've conceded quite a few chances in those games, and if they allow us that level of room, we can definitely hurt them. We can definitely create chances against them. So we just got to try and take each chance as it comes and try and defend properly and see if we can get through this game. But it's going to be almightily difficult. Yeah,
it really will be. But I feel like Spurs always do turn up against Liverpool. Home and away. We just rarely get the result over the line, but
we always give a good game.
We always give a good account of ourselves against Liverpool, and I feel like the players that we have and how good we are in transition can be Liverpool's kryptonite. I know it's a different kettle of fish a little bit coming up against Klopp's Liverpool and coming up against Arne Slot, because it's the first time we're actually coming up against Arne Slot's Liverpool, and they do play it in a bit of a different way. They're a bit more calm and measured, where Klopp's Liverpool were just like literally just gung-ho, they just go for it. Liverpool under Arne Slot are a bit different, aren't they?
Definitely. They're not as rock and roll, although they do have that element to them, when they want to be, they can be, but they're definitely just more an element of more possession-based, more control, more maybe focusing on not just constant pressure, but timing of the pressure and, you know, kind of picking your moments to press rather than just relentless, constant pressure like it was under Klopp. Not as much gegenpressing, as you call it. But it's something that's been working for them. And also, they still have that element when they want to fully go gung-ho like they did against Newcastle and Fulham. They have that ability to do that, and it can also be something that can really work in their favour. And because the attacking options they got, if they just pile men forward, they always back themselves to get the goals. And you know, it's going to be a real challenge trying to keep them down kind of to a minimum when it comes to goals on Sunday.
You're looking at Spurs against Liverpool in the form comparison. It looks very similar in terms of goals scored and goals conceded. It just looks very different in terms of results.
Look at win, and then us is inconsistent. Obviously, our home form as well. not in the best shape at the moment. Their away form, as you can see, 4 wins and a draw. So, yeah, I mean, look, they're in great form. What can I say? They're playing extremely well. They're favourites for the league title at the moment. This is a massive game for them because, you know, Chelsea and Arsenal have already played. It's a possibility they could be second if Chelsea beat Everton going into this game. So, be interesting to see the dynamic of the game going into it. Will the pressure be on them to win, or will they, or to even extend the lead, given they've got a game in hand?
It's interesting though, like if we beat them, Chelsea can go top of the league this weekend.
I'm saying they could be top going into this game.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, they. When did Chelsea play?
Before,
Saturday.
They played before. I think Sunday before.
Oh, the game before. Wow, that would be incredible. Like with the lead that Liverpool have had, if they go into this game not top of the league. They're going to be bloody on it though if that happens.
2 games in hand, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That is actually a bit of a scary thought. Kind of hoping Chelsea lose early on. Who do they play?
Everton away.
Bit of a tough game though. Like Everton,
Not easy, yeah.
Everton haven't lost at home for a while. Probably about time.
Just got
to
a
be
point
fair.
at the Emirates.
Yeah. Head-to-head between the clubs doesn't make for good reading if you're a Spurs fan, but it's a game that always promises goals.
Yeah, it's always an exciting game, isn't it? And it's always a game where we always feel like we got a chance at least. And, I guess we play like we got a chance, I should say. We don't feel like we do.
Yeah.
We play like we do. We always give ourselves a chance, but it's always very, very difficult against Liverpool. We never seem to get that result over the line. We got a large slice of luck at the Tottenham Stadium last time. The VAR that went our way and the own goal in the last minute.
That
we
was
did
one
not
of the
deserve
luckiest
that win.
games I've ever seen.
Yeah, a robbery from Tottenham, but we got the win. I would take that on Sunday, though. I'll take a bit of a robbery if we can manage it.
What's his name on? Was he the lino that day, or in the VAR room? That ref that's just been sacked.
Coot.
Was it him?
Well, David Toot should be.
Oh God.
I don't know if it was VAR.
But yeah, it was a massive, massive slice of luck. But I also feel like a lot of times over the years when Liverpool have beaten us, they've had that massive slice of luck.
Yeah, they've had. That's a good point. You know, they've had their fair share of luck against us as well, where we've missed big chances, and they've also got refereeing decisions their way and all that kind of stuff. And how many games have we sat there after the game thinking, how have we not got anything out of that game? And they've got a last minute winner
from Sissoko to Lo Celso to all these players, man, that have all missed like gilt-edged chances against Liverpool.
And look, we can't be as profligate on Sunday if we're going to get a result. If we get chances like against United, we just have to be clinical. In that United game, 3 shots that second half, 3 goals. And then we've got to be that clinical against Liverpool if we're going to get a result.
Yeah, absolutely. In terms of what we think a potential Liverpool lineup could look like coming into the game, I mean, is that Alisson's back, isn't he? So Alisson will be in goal. You're talking about probably a back 4 of Trent, Joe Gomez, Van Dijk, Robertson. Gravenberch, I've been so impressed with Gravenberch
what a player.
This season.
He's been phenomenal.
And you're looking at him compared to last season. I mean, he was a bit part player last season, wasn't he, coming in and out? I mean, Arne Slot has made him probably the best or one of the best CDMs in the league. Yeah,
look, Liverpool were trying to spend big on a 6 in the summer, and they went for Zubamendi, they went for other players and didn't get anyone over the line. And instead, they just promoted Gravenberch to that 6th position. He's like, all right, I'm going to make Gravenberch the best 6 in the league. And he's pretty much done that, and he's been absolutely phenomenal. The way he reminds me of... He basically reminds me of a more controlled version of Basuma, essentially. Just so much, very good at dribbling, so aggressive off the ball. But also because he's got history of being a more attacking player as well, he's got that ability, that passing as well, that passing ability to break lines and that dribbling ability. He's not scared to go through to attack space when he sees it. But he's really added that steel and aggression to his game, which maybe he didn't have as much last season. It's a lot more controlled in possession as well. And he's one we're going to have to basically stifle if we're going to stop their midfield dominating.
Yeah. It's a massive positive and for them that they got a lot of rest in their midfielders in the Carabao Cup game because they played 2 kids in the middle of the park, which meant Gravenberch, I don't know if he came on late in the game, but he didn't play. And Szoboszlai didn't play either. McAllister did start the game, but you do expect a midfield of probably Gravenberch, Szoboszlai and McAllister, right?
Or Jones.
One of them. But either way, the only one that weren't rested on midweek was McAllister. So maybe it's him that comes out. But I don't know. He's a very important player for them. That's the difference between them and us. Like we didn't have the we didn't get the affordability to rest anyone in midweek. So maybe they do have that freshness coming into it.
That's the worry, and that's the probability as well. And as well, it's not even the freshness of the starting players. It's more players who can come off the bench and make a difference and have that fresh legs off the bench and while we're tiring as well. So that's going to be an issue. That's obviously something we're going to have to contend with. Obviously, we had that against Chelsea and we started really well, got the 2 goals, and then we just couldn't sustain it and ended up faltering. And the players, I don't know whether it was tiredness or whatever, started making stupid mistakes. We ended up losing the game. Whether we've learned the lessons of that or not, we have to wait and see. But that is obviously something that it's just the reality of the game with the fact that we've got all these injuries. Not much we can do about it. We're just going to have to try and cop it and try and get on with it.
And in terms of the front line, I mean, obviously it'll be Mo Salah on the left. Who do you reckon? Luis Diaz, Cody Gakpo, Diogo Jota?
So Jota came on in midweek. I don't think it'll be Nunes. I feel like it'll be. Ooh, I think Gakpo started. Did Diaz start as well?
Against Southampton, their front line was...
Was it Elliott?
It was Nunes, Elliott and Gakpo. So Diaz will probably start.
Diaz, Jota and Salah.
So, I mean...
It's their best front three, yeah.
Yeah. Because Van Dijk didn't play on midweek either. So they've got pretty much a completely fresh team.
Apart from Konate.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That front. And also, like, if one of the front players isn't working, you've got Gakpo and Nunes to come on. And Elliott as well. So it's going to be difficult to deal with.
And you know what? No matter what players they put in their front line, they're all contributing. Gakpo's getting the goals. Diaz has scored many goals this season. Diogo Jota has come back and hit the ground running straight away. And Mohamed Salah is Mohamed Salah, who's...
They've got, maybe... I don't know how you can say either second or level with Chelsea with the best attacking options in the league. They've got unbelievable options. All of them could start in most teams, all their options. So... Yeah. It's an intimidating prospect. We're going to probably have to rely on a front players who a lot of them played against United. Maybe Madison will be on the bench, so he can maybe come on and change the game potentially. But yeah, it's going to be very, very difficult to contain them. I mean, it's going to. I don't see us keeping a clean sheet, that's for sure.
You could say that again.
Yeah, I don't think that's.
I can't see us only conceding one either.
Yeah, so we're going to have to try and outscore them somehow, and that's basically going to be how we get something out of this game.
Yeah. I do think we can have a fast start, and I do think we can score early. It's just I really worry. I've said this a lot in recent weeks, but it's because of how many players we have out. Like, I really worry about us coming into the second half of this game and towards the last stage of the game. And I think Liverpool will be wary of that as well. And they'll want to come on strong in the second half.
And I don't know if we'll be 3-0 up like we were against United, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we might have a lead, but it's probably going to be a slender one, and Liverpool all of a sudden can up their game. And also, you can see as well against Fulham and against Newcastle especially, they weren't great for like 60 minutes against Newcastle, and then they just upped their game in that half an hour. They made some subs, and all of a sudden it was like a different team, and they got 3 goals. Same against Fulham. They weren't great, and then they changed a few things and upped their game, and all of a sudden turned it around. And so they've got that ability, Fulham, Liverpool. So it's going to be a very difficult game.
It will be very difficult. We do have a bit of a knack, though, don't we, of like getting under their skin. Like, it's always very, like I mentioned before, like evenly contested games, won by the odd goal here or there. But there's been many a time over the years with Liverpool where they should have got a red card and they didn't get a red card, or they have got a red card and it's a deserved red card, and vice versa as well. Like, they're usually very hotly contested games, these games.
Should have had a goal. Didn't get one.
Yeah.
There's always some sort of controversy. So I think if we're going to have our best way of kind of getting something out of the game is to make it a bit of a battle, make it a bit of a fight, battle for everything, bit of shithousery, frustrate them, maybe try and get them a man down or something, and that'll be the best way to do it, because if we go toe to toe with them if we make it easy for them, they have the ability to rip us apart. That's the reality as well. As much as we have ability to cause them problems, they've got the ability to tear us to shreds if we're not ruffling their feathers. So we just got to make sure that we're not making it easy for them. We're being aggressive, getting in their faces, frustrating them, making fouls in tactical fouls in difficult positions, pressing them, showing them we can hurt them as much as they can hurt us, and making sure it's not just one-way traffic. And maybe we got a chance. Obviously, Liverpool go into this big favourites, after we had a taxing game against Man United on Thursday as well. This game, no one's going to blame us for losing this game. So there's enough excuses to lose.
You think it's a free hit?
Yeah, I do. Especially after winning on Thursday, I do think it's a bit. I think if we would have lost on Thursday, I think the pressure comes on this game to try and get a result.
But when you're 10th in the league, right, is there ever any free hits? Because we've lost so many games where we shouldn't have in the Premier League. I feel like, obviously no one's going to want Ange sacked just because he lost to Liverpool. But because we've lost so many silly points this year, we kind of need to make it up elsewhere.
100%. And I'm not saying we don't try and get anything from the game,
but that's why I'm saying it's not a free hit.
Well, what I mean by free hit is we kind of got nothing to lose. Like there's if we lose, I think we can make up the points on. We got Forest at the moment. Forest are 4th, right? So we got Forest on Thursday. So even if we lose this game, as long as Forest don't win, we can catch up points on Thursday against
Who do Forest have?
I don't know, but we can. They're away at someone, I think.
Away at Brentford.
Yeah, I mean, no guarantee they win that game. Anyway, even if they do win, we got an opportunity to catch up points on Thursday against them. So at the moment it's 5 points, but so even if we lose this game, the opportunity is right there on the Thursday to catch that up. So in a way, I'm not saying we can afford to lose. Like when you're 10th, you can't afford to lose any game, but it's not the end of the world if we lose to this Liverpool team. It'll be a shame, but I don't think Ange comes under pressure if we lose this game.
Yeah, it's just it'll just be very frustrating because of the nature of how we've been so far this season in the Premier League. We just need to pick up points quickly if we want to start climbing up the league table.
But obviously, it'll add a lot of pressure on the Thursday game if we don't win this game. If we lose, sorry.
Is it a Forest on Thursday?
Yeah.
Bloody hell, it's all coming around so quickly because Thursday is Boxing Day. Like Christmas is like in a few days' time. It's madness. So we're really in the thick of it right now. And in terms of the way we're going to set up, we've brought you our predicted lineup. Go and check that out. But I mean, we haven't really been doing this double pivot in recent weeks. Do you reckon we revert to it in this game? Because I really feel like we need to be compact.
Yeah, I think so. I think maybe we saw a bit of it on against United. Obviously, with Decky there as well, we're going to need everyone to muck in. And we're going to have to make sure. I think the right thing to do, which is exactly what Fulham did actually, is they kept their left winger really high and wide. Or really high, basically on the last line, and we need to basically have Son there. That's what we need. We need to do with Son what we did against Southampton, just keep him in that position where he's in that space between fullback and centre back, and he can have the ability to just go when we get the ball, and he can run and get him behind. I think that's the best option for us, and I think Trent is someone we've got to target on that side. Even though I think he's improved defensively, he's still Trent, and he's still not the best defender, and they're still very reliant on him on the ball. So Son's got to take advantage of that and make sure he's on that last line. Solanke's got to make sure he's holding the ball up as best he can. And we've got to make sure we're controlling that middle. Against, I was watching their game against City. The biggest thing City did was they just completely lost control of that middle of the park. They were losing balls left, right and centre in that middle. Liverpool was so aggressive. Every loose ball, Liverpool were onto it. They were making sure they were getting advantage there. And we got to make sure that doesn't happen. And look, I think we're better equipped in a weird way because in that game, City had like Gundogan and can't remember who else, but players who just at the moment aren't at a physical best and aren't best at protecting the ball. And I feel like we might have players with Decky in there, might have a better chance of protecting it.
Yeah, we need Bissouma to be on the levels that he was on for the first hour of the game against Manchester United. And if he is, then that's either an extra protection for the ball in the middle of the park. Do you feel like, though, genuinely, like we can win that midfield battle with Liverpool? Because their midfield has been so strong this season. They've all been rested as well.
Yeah, I mean, maybe for a bit we can. Can we do it for 90 minutes, especially when they're going to make changes and stuff? And, we probably only have Bergvall to come on in that middle. Maybe we'll have Maddison as well. So maybe we can sustain something. But can we win the midfield battle? I mean, I haven't seen anyone do it against Liverpool win that midfield battle, to be honest. So it's going to be very, very difficult. I think putting Decky in there increases our chances of doing it, for sure. And in fact, as much as they're a great defensive team, like Decky, because of his strength, like he'll fancy his chances as well of causing damage in that middle. I'm a bit more worried about Bissouma and Sarr in a weird way because as much as they're good players, obviously, and they're good physically, they can be caught on the ball if they're pressed relentlessly. And, can they protect the ball as much as well as Decky can? I don't know.
And they put such a shift in last night as well.
That's the thing. So you're going to need to be at your best strength-wise, protecting that ball, making sure you're not losing it, giving it away. And that's sometimes something they're lacking, especially when they're not at their physical peak. And Decky, I'm not always worried about it, but with them two, I'm a bit more worried about.
Yeah, 100%. And will the centre-backs, because Radu and Gray have been great over the past 2 or 3 games, but you're talking about a different level of opposition now. You're talking about the best team in the Premier League so far this season, where you're talking about the other 3 games, literally the worst team in the Premier League, a Manchester United team that rested a number of players, and a Rangers side who are in the SPL. So you're talking about a massive jump in opposition. Can Archie Gray and Radu Dragusin hold up to scrutiny in this kind of game?
If we get a win with them two at the back, give them the keys. Just sell Romero and Van der Ven before you get a win on Sunday, I think. I feel like that would be something special.
Even if we draw 0-0.
Honestly, if we can do something defensively with Gray there and Dragusin, not to say that I'm criticising them or anything, but look, as much as they've done well, this is a completely different kettle of fish. This is a completely different level of challenge. This is probably like 4 levels above what the challenge they've had. So I'll be still very surprised if they're not exposed in any way. But they've done brilliantly, and if they can muster up some level of performance that is good enough to get a result in this game, then that would really show what talents they are, I think.
You saw the comments from Arne Slot in his press conference today. High praise for Ange Postecoglou. He says he wants Spurs to win a trophy, just not the Carabao Cup.
Yeah, it reminds me of... so you wouldn't mind us winning the Prem, huh?
He said Europa League.
Yeah, Europa League. It reminds me of like when Mourinho used to sort of sweet talk Harry Redknapp before he would batter us. That's usually how it worked. And Pep Guardiola likes to sweet talk managers as well. Maybe it's a bit of mind games, but obviously it's a high praise. He said he really thinks Ange's doing a good job, and he loves to see the identity the team have, and it's important that Spurs keep that identity because that's what we love about Tottenham. I don't know if it's patronising or I don't know if it's just high praise, but yeah, it's obviously kind words.
He said that you can never attack too much. You can never be too attacking.
Yeah, he's like, what do you mean too attacking? You can never be too attacking. It's not possible. Well, I guess we'll see Arnie, won't we, on Sunday? Maybe if we're too open or whatever. But it will be a good game because Liverpool don't sit back. I know they're a bit more controlled, but they're not a team that just sit back and defend ever. They always go for it, and they always they do give chances, and they always look forward as well. So it should be a really interesting tactical battle on Sunday, and unfortunately we are hamstrung with the injuries, and that's going to really hurt our game plan. But doesn't mean there's no chance we're giving them a game. I think we can definitely give them a game, and it's whether we can sustain our fitness or as much sustain our level of performance for 90 minutes can go a long way to determining whether we can get a result. But I think we can definitely score goals and cause them trouble. Like there'll definitely be moments I feel like on Sunday where we feel like we're really on top of them. There will be moments, but I don't know how long we can sustain it.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very difficult, particularly not only just the level of opposition, but the level of rest that both teams have had as well.
And set pieces
coming into it.
Good.
Set pieces,
Van
yeah, but we've got Sonny who's just popping it in from corners, mate.
Give us a corner if you dare.
I don't think Alisson will give Sonny exactly what the Man U keeper did.
As soon as we get a corner.
Yeah, 100%. Exactly. We've actually started to add those little dark arts to our games, which we've been calling to for ages. So maybe we'll see more of that on the weekend. But yeah, massive game at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I want to know your score predictions and how you think the game is going to go in the comment section below. What's your score prediction?
3-2 to Liverpool. 3-2. I think it's going to be a spirited performance. I think we'll be enough positives to take away from it. But I just can't see us getting anything, to be honest. Yeah,
I'm also going to go for a Liverpool win, unfortunately, and I think it's going to be 2-1 to Liverpool. More than likely, though, every time me and Sim both do predict a loss, I think there was one recently where we did actually, I think it was the Bournemouth game. But more times than not, when we both predict to lose, Spurs surprise us. So let's hope that's going to happen again. I keep saying it, but I feel like Spurs can have a fast start to this game and score an early goal. But I think as the game progresses, Liverpool will just grow and grow in influence and momentum. And I feel they will break us down. So I'm going to go for 2-1 to Liverpool. Sim's going for 3-2 to Liverpool. Back on the watch along this weekend as well. Very much looking forward to it. Let's hope for 3 points.